Hey, everybody. Today we have another super amazing mind and business mini habit to help entrepreneurs stop overthinking and start doing. So, this micro habit encourages creatives to be more creative and get their stuff out there, to show up, share their work, post a quick thought on social media, a behind the scenes pick, or even a rough draft. This is building on the imperfect action habit that I was sharing in previous episodes to help you build more confidence and consistency. So, if you are ready to stop hiding your brilliance and begin to own it, folks, stick around because Megan is standing by to ensure you have a breakthrough today. So, I want to welcome you all to the Entrepreneur Expansion Show. This is the first ever gamified show that helps entrepreneurs master their subconscious mind, body, and business by implementing micro habits into their lives in a fun, supportive, action oriented way to create more transformational impact and income. So, I am your host, Matt Travis, the founder of The Potential You. And of course, if you are a service based business owner wanting to break through a sales slump and implement our consistent 5-figure months formula, where we uplevel your offer, your marketing, your mindset for just 97 bucks in our VIP Prove It partnership. Click the Leads and Sales Accelerator link below in the show notes, and we'll send you a free step-by-step implementation guide on exactly how to make this happen together. So today's guest is so awesome. I've worked with Megan. She's the queen of creativity, and Megan Chamberlain, she's the creative business coach, we'll call it. She's a strategist. She's helping multi-passionate entrepreneurs. And that's what I think really helped me vibe with her, because I'm just so passionate about a bunch of different things, as you can tell if you've listened to any of these episodes. And so that's what, that's where we really connect. But it's really about taking their ideas and turning them into profitable, sustainable businesses. And through her program, The Creative Edge, she guides creatives past overthinking, perfectionism, so they can launch and sell their work instead of getting stuck in what we call someday mode. So, Megan, thank you so much for coming and joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
It's going to be awesome. So, I would love for you to kick us off with a micro habit, one valuable key that will help these entrepreneurs expand in their journey that they may not think about. And like I alluded in the beginning of the episode, it's a new take and spin off of what I was sharing in a past episode. And I was saying to you before this, people need to hear this one message that you're going to share today, like every day. They need to hear it a million times, especially us overthinkers. So give a breakdown of what you think people need to be doing in their business.
So, so this is a really, really quick breakdown because the micro habit that I try to tell everyone to really start to implement is do the thing. Just do the thing. And what I mean by that is not necessarily, don't text your ex after 10 or something like that. But when it comes to your business, you really need to stop overthinking everything. You need to get out of your head and you need to just post something, share about your business, tell somebody about your business. I think what I've seen a lot, especially from creatives, I'm definitely guilty of this myself, is when you get into a conversation with somebody, you might be a little bit afraid of telling them what it is you do, especially if you haven't maybe started to actually sell anything yet or make money from it. But you really need to just let people know because nobody can buy from you, nobody can work with you if they don't know what you're doing. And so really the micro habit is just, put that post out there about what it is you're doing today. Maybe a behind the scenes, hey, this is what I'm working on. Hey, this is this idea I just had. And you'd be surprised how much feedback you might get that might help
Yeah.
you run with it.
Yeah, these are beautiful because they're like teaser seeds that start to get it's actually like another way to get more market research feedback to really,
Absolutely.
like to really get that clear idea like, hey, do the people that I'm talking to even want this thing? I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
because you
It's
can automatically get validation on an idea that maybe you came up with in the shower that morning. And you're like, I wonder, and you'll find out right away if any, you'd be surprised what people might jump on. And then you're like, okay, well, hey, let me be off to the races with this one.
It's exactly how I launched my online business back in 2017. I just went live on Facebook with an idea of helping people release weight over a certain period of time, and it was just a very unique way to do it, where it was a beta launch idea, and I had no clue how it was going to go. I was completely unsure. It was an idea I had 5 minutes before I went live, and it crushed. Like 40 people wanted to join this program, and I had to go through it, and I ended up accepting 20 of them. But it was all because I took this creative idea and I put it out into the world. Because if it stays in your head, folks, is that going to help you?
Well, and to be honest, my whole do the thing really kind of came from a place of an improv exercise because I come from a
Mm,
theatrical background. I was a theater major. I love bringing that into everything that I do. And in an improv setting, you're usually going with a yes and exposure, which
yeah.
really do the thing is just an expansion on that because you're saying yes to something like, yes, I had this idea, so I'm going to share it with somebody. The creative edge actually came about because I was invited to be a speaker at a summit. The audience of the summit was actually going to be the type of people that I help and that I want to be working with. And while I didn't have something built at the time for what they were looking for, I said yes. And then I built it in real time to match their
Nice.
deadline.
Nice.
So, talk about scary, but that's the type of just do the thing, get it done, and get out there.
Totally. And this is the thing, folks. You learn way more by putting it out there and doing the thing. I think a lot of people think that they need to perfect it and have it right and all that stuff, but you're not actually getting any real world feedback on the thing that's in your head. So if you leave it in your head, it's not actually going to, it's not going to, you're going to overthink it more, and your subconscious mind is going to try to make up problems and solve problems that don't even exist yet. So it's this continuous cycle. Um, so what do you think is the number one reason why people don't do this? Like what's going to block them? Give some examples of things that stop them from doing this.
Well, perfectionism for sure is one. And I mean, we're all human. We all are afraid of, it's that getting up in front of the classroom, fear that we've all had since we were
Yeah.
kids. And, not to take that lightly, that's definitely something that people struggle with, deal with. I deal with it myself, but it's really about tricking your mind into understanding that, especially nowadays, we live in an age of social media. Things are out there and then gone again in an instant. I mean, that's one of the reasons algorithms are such a pain to work with, right? So even if you put something out there and it bombs, there's crickets, there's nothing, or worse, there's negative feedback. It's really about putting yourself into the space of realizing, okay, well, that was a moment, tried that, didn't work, moving on. And then you take
Yeah.
and you retweak. So,
Yeah. This is so spot on. And like I said, this is a message that you need to almost hear every day to reprogram this inner limiting belief of like, oh, I can't put that out there because blank. I can't tell you how many clients I've come across where they're trying to build their course or their modules or all this back end systems and all these things to sell the thing, and then they put it out there and it's crickets and nobody buys it because they've kept it secret for so long. And that does two things. Number one, you don't actually get front end feedback. Like, I do not recommend you put anything out there, folks, that people haven't said that they want. That's number one. Okay. So make sure people say they want the thing. And then the second part of it, as you're building it, the thing that I love about this habit, Megan, that you're bringing in this new fresh flavor to it, is that it's like you get to start to put it out there and it's almost like teasers, and this subconscious wants to close the loop. Like, so they're like, oh, Megan said she has this thing coming out. Like, I need to know. It's why people binge watch Netflix and why they do these things, because there's these subconscious opens loops that are like, I need to know what the hell happens in the show. so you see some of the best YouTube creators, like they've mastered the open loop. They've mastered like making you binge these episodes. So this is so important on so many levels. And I also will add, just like as I like I said, like you and I vibe on it's like the ADHD creative, like you have a million freaking ideas, y'all. And I think another thing that tends to block people is they have so many ideas. Do you have any techniques for them to like bring it down into just like, okay, I'm just gonna do this one?
I wouldn't necessarily say that's a technique so much as a mindset, because I think there's a couple of things at play when people are doing that.
Yeah.
And one thing, and I would love to take credit for this, but I saw it somewhere else and I just thought it was brilliant. And so I brought it into the lessons that I teach. Um, but it's the Iron Man concept, which is you have somebody in the Iron Man movies. If you haven't seen before, I'm not there are spoilers, but you should have seen them by now because they're amazing. But in the first Iron
That's your
Man
bad. That's
movie,
your bad.
my bad, right?
No,
But in
no,
the
no. It's
first
their bad
movie,
for not watching
oh
the
yeah,
movie, right? That's on them.
very true. No, but in the first movie, you've got this genius billionaire who, encounters this major issue of getting kidnapped. He has to build himself this suit to get out of it. The first suit, it does the job it needs to do at the time, but it's
Yeah.
not good for sustainability. He moves on, he makes another one, he makes another one. But the whole point of that, in the quickest summary I can do, is that the first one he does, he goes all the way up into space, he tests it before it's ready. Even Jarvis is there telling him, hey dude, we're not ready to do this yet. And he gets iced over, he plummets to the earth, he doesn't die obviously, but then that comes back around at the end with the bad guy, and the wonderful moment where Tony Stark turns to him as they're, going up into space saying, hey, how did you solve the icing problem? Because the other guy did the same thing, stole the tech, went and did it. All of this to say is that you have a genius billionaire with everything at his disposal who could have thought out all of these problems in advance and made the perfect machine from the beginning before he ever launched it. And he didn't. And he found out all of his best stuff through his mistakes, even with all the resources available at his disposal. So I think that that's just such a great mindset. It was an aha moment for me when I kind of put
Yeah.
that together as well, because you realize that you are the only thing holding you back is you. And that's really is just basically the point. It's never going to be perfect. You're never going to think of everything wrong with it. That's why you need to just do the thing. And you'd be surprised to learn that probably everyone that is the best audience for you are people you've never met. So when you're
Totally.
validating your ideas, it's great to get feedback from mom, dad, best friend, your neighbors, that kind of
Or
stuff.
not, or not.
But sometimes those are the worst reviews to get back because they're not your people.
Yeah.
So putting yourself out there also brings you to people you would not encounter otherwise, and you'd be
Yeah.
really surprised by the feedback you get there.
Totally. I just love everything about this, Megan. It speaks to my soul, and it is literally how I created this podcast. I was like, nobody has ever done this, right? Like I have no clue whether this will ultimately work. I just knew that a lot of people watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts, and they do absolutely nothing with the information. Nothing. And so I was like, well, what if I had a show that actually helped people take this very simple concept, this micro habit, and start implementing it, get rewarded, get support in a community, and start to build these subconscious habits and start to build this snowball for their entrepreneur expansion journey. That was the whole idea. I had no clue if it was going to work. I still don't know because we're in our early phase. And yet I love it. It's so exciting to think about what this is. And I think that's where if you're like a creative individual or an individual with ADHD like me, you definitely need to connect with Megan Chamberlain, because she just has this when I met her, I was like, she's just got this gift of helping folks like myself, like these folks that have these millions of ideas and are very creative. And your background in the arts and in that, it's just unique. And there's plenty of people that are just going to massively improve their lives just by being in your world. So I just so appreciate
Oh,
this. I really, really do. And if we were to break it down, real quick, folks, just so we know what the habit is, okay? And I like the word that you called it. I wrote it down. It was the spotlight moment.
It all comes back to theatrics, but it works
Yeah,
because who doesn't want to be the star of their own show?
love that. I absolutely love that. So in this mini micro habit, you will, if you choose to take this on, folks, you jump into the community. Megan's in there, I'm in there. We're here to support you through this process, through this mini habit. And you comment go, and then you just say how many days a week you're going to do this mini habit. And of course, every time you comment in the post below it, you will get points towards giveaway and things that we do in this community. So you get rewarded. And yeah, it's really just taking action on this, folks. Nothing better. There's literally nothing better than putting your work your work out into the world and getting some feedback right away. So I absolutely love that. Megan, if people were searching for you outside of the community and on the internet, where would they find you?
So everything that I'm doing right now has been built off of my very, very long time creative lifestyle blog, which is called Come On Get Crafty. Key thing to note there, it is CMON. So it's like the hyphenated version, CMON, getcrafty.com. And more specifically now, if you're interested in my Creative Edge program, it's Come On Get Crafty / the dash creative dash edge. So that's where everyone, and right now I'm have some new limited spots open. So I would love to see anybody who is interested in that sign up for the wait list.
Perfect. I love that. And folks, we'll put all that in the show notes just so you have it and in the community so that you can find it. And like I said, and I say this on every episode, folks, we're real human beings and you can connect with us. Like you can reach out and message Megan, you can message me, we can have a conversation like human beings. And start moving you forwards in this expansive journey that you're on to create the desired reality that you want to create. So I love all of this. Thank you so much for sharing this amazing mini habit. Folks, if you dig this, jump into the community, start taking this one on. And yeah, remember, folks, to create more transformational impact and income in this world, just keep showing up, take action, and you will get results. Have a fantastic day.